An all-American swimmer found guilty of sexually assaulting unconscious woman on Stanford campus. 3-time all-American swimmer found guilty of rape. These are two real news headlines published by the Washington Post and the New York Post, respectively, that I came across this past summer. I immediately questioned the word choice at hand. Did we have to know about his swimming record? Not long after, the Roger Ailes sexual harassment case broke, and I became curious as to whether the power and status of the people involved in these cases played a role in the way these stories were covered. This curiosity inspired me to conduct this study, the purpose of which was to examine the language choices and news frames the New York Times used in covering the Brock Turner and Roger Ailes sexual misconduct cases. In order to carry out this study, I conducted a feminist analysis of 16 articles published by the New York Times, 8 of which covered the Roger Ailes case, and the other 8 covered the Turner case. Essentially, feminist criticism looks for 2 main themes: how gender is constructed, and how women are oppressed and the patriarchy is upheld. Ultimately, I found 3 things. First, the descriptions of the 4 individuals in the cases, Ailes, Turner, Doe, and Carlson, all referenced the strength and power of their bodies, either in terms of their physical strength or their social status, repeatedly referring to the men using language that implies power. Athlete and king, for example, was a problem throughout the articles. My results show that the bodies of Turner and Ailes are considered stronger and more powerful, whereas the bodies of Doe and Carlson are considerably weaker. Second, I found that there was an improvement in the inclusion of the voices of the victims of sexual misconduct, in this case, Doe and Carlson. Moreover, I found that only 2 of the 16 articles were written by a woman, and these articles were generally more fairly covered. Finally, I found that the New York Times tends to cover cases of sexual misconduct either episodically or thematically. An episodic frame makes the event seem like a standalone occurrence, whereas a thematic frame situates the event within a greater societal context. In general, the thematic frames were used more in the Turner case, whereas the episodic frame was used more in the Ailes case. Ultimately, the findings of my study prove that, while news coverage of sexual misconduct cases have improved slightly, there are still many improvements to make in order to ensure fair coverage. For one, there should be more women journalists. The news industry is generally male-dominated, which leaves women's voices, experiences, and perceptions out of the public view. So, next time I'm reading the news and a story about sexual misconduct comes up, I hope to find language and framing that is fair and balanced, and attitudes that are committed to equality. Thank you.